Hey guys, welcome back to another installment of HairTube. Firstly and foremost, we have to make mention to our amazing partner in Matrix. You guys are always asking us to produce more regular content, and Jimmy and I are working tireless to be able to do that, but unfortunately it's very expensive, and thanks to our friends at Matrix, we can now bring you more regular content. So show your love for them, because when you do, it means you're supporting us, and if you're supporting us and Matrix, we can bring you more regular content, because without people like them who believe in me, I can't bring you the videos that you guys are so often asking for. So let's introduce you to our model today, Lorna. Lorna is our willing participant in today. During the week, Lorna came in and had a very big change with the colour. You can see it's looking amazing and fresh. And we'll go into a little bit more about what we did with the colour later on while I'm cutting. And also at the bottom of the video, the colorist who did the colour during the week is going to have a full description on all the products they used. But to give you a brief intro, we used Light Master and we used Bond Ultimate, which is Matrix new Plex and lightning protecting treatment. So if you guys don't already know about it, you need to find out about it. Contact your local Matrix agent in whichever country you're watching and get yourself with some Bond Ultimate straight away. So let's talk about Lorna's hair. So Lorna has happily come in today and's willing to have whatever she wants done. Am I going to shave her head? No. As always, I like to bring you guys videos that you think maybe are something a little different, but the things that your clients are asking for each day in the salon, because I think that's the most important. That it's good to have creative expression, but if we're learning haircuts that our clients aren't asking for, then it's very hard for us to inspire the people that are in our salon, be it our staff or our teammates, and also to inspire your clients for change and to embrace new haircuts. So go into it briefly. Lorna's given me free rein, but I'm not going to cut her hair super short because I want to give her a really current, relevant commercial look today. We're going to do some shaping around the front. We're going to take a lot of length off the ends, and I want to give her something that's truly wash and wear, because I don't want to give her a haircut that's going to require lots of styling during the day, because her lifestyle is such that she's at university. Is that right? What are you studying?
Master of Nutrition and Dietetics.
Wow, master's degrees. All right. She's obviously going to be very busy, so there's no going to be ironing, curling. It's a paddle brush, some amazing Matrix products, and I'll talk about the products that are suitable for her later, and maybe 5 minutes in the morning. And then once it's dry shampoo on the second, the third, and the fourth day, we'll go into re-shampooing and resetting the hair and re-drying it again. So we're going to get started. I hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, you got anything to say? Excited?
Yeah, I can't wait.
I mean, if I can't make Lorna look good, I need to quit, because she's incredible. All right, let's get started. So Lorna came in during the week and had her hair coloured. So our colour director, Michelle, who's actually my wife, coloured Lorna's hair, and it's incredible. You'll see at the beginning of the video there is a before photo. And we might actually post it now. So you can actually see what Lorna's colour looked like in the beginning. It was a pretty big process. She had sort of existing beachy, sort of grown out blonde / balayage. I mean, it's quite a casual look. So Michelle decided that she would approach it like a virgin application. So she lightened out the ends first with her Light Master, and then went in there and lightened the roots. The whole way through the process, she used Bond Ultimate, and you can see that the hair is in amazing condition. It's very strong, super strong, and it was blonde. It was blonde to begin with, and it was quite dry. So it's a great product that works. And actually we're very lucky to have it, because it's only just come out and we're using it straight away. So no point having beautiful blonde hair if it's dry, right? At the basin, I'll use the Bra Soft shampoo and conditioner. With most blondes, they're going to take on some discoloration over time. I was explaining to Lorna when she had her hair coloured, and just then, off camera, that blondes become quite discoloured for a few reasons, and the best way to do that is to have a great shampoo like Bra Soft. Essentially, some people call them purple shampoo or violet shampoo, but essentially its job is to counteract the brassy yellow tones that go along with having blonde hair. It really suits you though, huh? Have you had many comments?
Yeah, heaps already. Everyone's like, who did your colour? Where did you go?
Well, it's good. It looks really good. I was just a little bit concerned in the beginning that the condition, because without being rude, your hair was a little bit sort of damaged, not like horrendously bad, but it was carrying damage. And when you go and take it through a massive lightening process like it is, well, how long were you here for? Like 3 or 4 hours or something? Yeah, you know, when you've got an amazing product like Bond Ultimate just to look after the condition, it's actually a luxury that we never used to have. So thanks Matrix for bringing out such a great product, because I love it. All right, I'm just going to pull your cape out for you, and if you could do what all hairdressers say, could you please uncross your legs? Just pop your arms inside. It'll just make it a little bit easier so you don't get hairy. We'll pull this out. All right, let's talk about the haircut. So I had a chat to Lorna when she was in the salon last week, and it would be easy just to go and like cut it real short, but I just don't want to. I just don't think it's necessary. But I think we need to look at cutting from a holistic perspective. She's had a massive change with her colour. Although she was blonde, she's really blonde. And now if we will go and then make a huge change with the haircut, for me, that's probably too soon for a client, and you are a client. Even though you're my friend, you're still a client. So I'm not going to push you into that uncomfortable space. So what we're going to start with is, I want it to be clear of the shoulders, slightly longer towards the front, but where the magic will be in the front is through the top, when we're going to create a shape that can really, bring emphasis to these amazing cheeks. So for me, it's all about the cheekbones, the eyes, the jaw, and that will be it'll probably be about there in the front, slightly shorter in the back, and a little bit of texture to give some lightness through the interior. I'm not going to do a lot of layering. I find sometimes with bob length haircuts, and you guys would have heard me say it many times before, if you overlay them, I think you can make them look quite classic, and you can make young women look actually quite mature. So we don't do that. You've got plenty of time to age. But as, who was it from, where was she from? New York?
Yeah.
Yeah, she said, what do I do at 60? Cut your hair like you're 21. That's what I'd do anyway. All right, so in the interest of accuracy, I would advise that you do take some sections, but as you guys already know, taking too many can actually make you less accurate. So always sections that are balanced with the amount of hair, the length of hair, and other things like whether it's fine, thick, long, short, texture, just enough so you can get through it. You ready?
Yeah.
You reckon it was bad when you had the colour? You wait till they see it within your haircut. That's life-changing. Let's go. Chin down a bit. Thanks. Always making sure you're working within the head shape for this particular cut. You don't want to be cutting it out here. You're going to make sure you're bringing it back here. So when you're working on the right hand side, I would suggest that you slide yourself this way, or if you're standing, stand this way, so you naturally over direct, and the opposite when you come to this way. Otherwise you find yourself cutting the corners out and you end up with that dip and then forward, which is not wrong, it's just a different shape. The reason why I'm not doing what I just told you is so you can see what I'm doing. Because when I'm doing this side, I'll actually slide myself back across like this. Then again, because you've held it between your fingers, you're going to graduate it. Any graduation that you've created, don't squeeze it down too hard against the head or the neck, but any graduation you've created underneath there, you just nick it out. Don't cut into your guideline. You cut into your guideline, you've got to start again. Can you see that little bit of graduation in there? Good. Feel light? Look already, look what it does to your face already. So for this last section, I just need your chin just perfect, a little bit too far. Yep. So a good tip that you guys would have heard me mention before is if you get the head slightly forward. So if Lorna's head is at natural fall and you hold the hair, you're graduating it straight away. If you ask her just to dip the head slightly forward, you're sort of mitigating against the graduation you're going to create when you're holding it between your fingers. So a lot of you guys who are quite experienced would already do that and know that, but for those who aren't so, there's a little tip that I often use. But for the last section, I'm actually not going to cut it between my fingers. And for those of you who have attended one of my matrix workshops this year, we created an entire haircut, and for reasons only for being different and having to do something that's quite disciplined, we did an entire haircut without touching it between our fingers. So that was pretty cool. And I find that the comb is a great ruler. If you guys haven't already noticed, I'm onto the wide end of the comb. If I just get Lorna to look up, can you see what's happening up here? If we go and stretch that really hard, when it dries, it's going to bounce. I'm actually just combing that back quite gentle, and you can see that. Look at that jump up there. You know, that's going to give you a hole in your baseline if you don't watch your tension. Again, any little bit of graduation we've created. We want to make sure that we cut it off because short hair directs long hair. So unless you want the hair to flick out on the ends, you need to cut that graduation out. That brass off shampoo. Hey, didn't it? Like I'm just looking at it like it just looks bright and yeah, it does. It looks cleaner. So yeah, I don't know if you guys just noticed, I just held it with my fingers, just so it doesn't push away from the side there. Hey Lorna.
No, I saw that before. Oh, my hair.
I like to make sure that it has to be absolutely perfect before we move on, because if you have a millimetre of inaccuracy for 10 sections, it ends up being 1 centimetre inaccurate. So you need to make sure that every single section is perfect before you move on. And if it's not, don't try and cut through large amounts of hair, re-section it out, be disciplined, start again, don't cheat. If you cheat yourself, you cheat your client, and you guys are better than that. The fact that you guys take the time to tune in and watch this means that you care about the quality of the work that you do, and that you're doing extra outside of the salon, and that you want to be the best you can be, so don't cheat. I can already see that this side of your hair is going to be a kicker, which is great. And I already know why, because you've got hairline, but we'll shave that out in a minute. You won't see it. You literally like take just a little corner out of those little bits that grow out on your neck here. No, we're not doing an undercut today. Maybe next time. It's looking really nice. Right, so we'll just continue to work through left then right. So I'll take a section here, comb it all back. Really making sure we stay in here tight. Chin down a little bit. Thanks, Dale. And cut those corners off. Those corners make your haircut look expensive. Don't cut them off. Did I miss a bit there? Amateur. Go on. All right, next section. This will be the last one in the baseline. Bring it all back. Where's my magic water? The one thing I cannot live without. Hydra Source Daily Leave-In Tonic. This is the best cutting solution on the planet, and Matrix have an amazing cutting oil, and I think this is even better than the cutting oil, so you need some of that. So the last section, guys, is really important. So you can see I've intentionally not cut the sides. Could you just look to the right, Lorna, please? So I'm going to do it like this and just chin down again. So what it's going to allow me to do is actually even more exaggerate this back. Why didn't I do it for the rest of the sections? Because this is the only section, this is the only one that's going to reach here where I need it. And just head straight again. I'm going to leave these in. And the opposite, perfect, and chin down. Great. Spin around this way. And straight. And just to the right again. I think I over-directed it a bit too much, yep. I did. Now you guys have heard me say before, but I don't know why hair cutters, and I'm not saying all, but a lot of the hair cutters I've worked with, they always rush the baseline. And the simple analogy I use that I got from an amazing friend of mine, Dario, is that the ends of the haircut are like the expensive line on a designer bag or a designer jean. Like you're paying for the hem to be brilliant. You're paying for the seam of the coat to be brilliant. And a haircut's the same. You should not rush the baseline. Comb it, recomb it, check it, triple check it. Make sure it's just bang, bang, like really, really sharp. All right. You can see that beautiful length that we've left there towards the front. So important. So what I'll do now is I'm going to spin Lorna around to face you guys, and then I'm going to ask her to look in the mirror, and that allows me to not have to worry about getting in the way of a shoulder. So if you're doing a long haircut, you could do this down here, and we're just going to do it up here where it's a bit shorter. Make sure you don't cut into your guideline. I'd recommend you take just at least one section here, just for accuracy. Always check to make sure you haven't missed anything behind the ear. And again, don't stretch it too tight over the ear. That's a soon. They teach us to do this. And then you can see we just really need to nick that. It's like hardly anything. Look at that. Hey, that's what I was talking about before. Like, if you go and stretch that too much, these are the properties of the characteristics of every scalp that are different. And like you almost have like a side crown. Oh, that's pretty cool. It's unique. We all knew you were special, Lorna, but. Nice natural fall, natural tension. Don't stretch it too hard. And then we're going to do it around here, yeah? So I'll bring that back here. So we're halfway through Lorna's haircut, and I want you guys to take note of that shape that I was talking about. So you can see that it's clearly shorter in the back and longer in the front. You can see it's coming down into 2 points here, but it's not concave. I think it's square. Yeah, can you see? So first thing you want to do is you're going to comb the hair gently all the way back off the face, and we want to see where the hair wants to part naturally. So it actually really likes the middle, doesn't it? Yeah. Or just off center. So if we do this, loosen it up a little bit, which is really important. I'm all about having things not forced, like don't comb things too hard. And I actually like doing the baseline, I don't mind doing wet, but the rest of it I actually like it quite dry. So then we want to see. Yep. So the shape that I'm going to create is literally just going to sit here, and then we're going to leave those points. So maybe some of you guys have seen this before. I know those who attended my matrix class hadn't done it before. So hopefully you guys get a little tip here. But the axis of symmetry is her natural parting. So that's where it's through. And we're actually going to cut it on top of that. So I just want to check the width, make sure it's not too wide. Spin around, look in the mirror. It's really good to note how much of this we're going to leave out, because I'm going to leave 99% of it out. Don't want to cut it. Might be a little bit too much, maybe. No, I think it's good. Actually used a fair bit of tension on this. It's really important that you make sure that underneath, we call this like a little curtain fringe. So if you want it to sort of split here and open up, you need to make sure that here is shorter than the top. And then we're just going to very gently point cut, not completely diagonal, but just to sort of soften that a little bit. Oh wow. Boom. It's like, hello cheekbones. That works for me. Does it work for you?
Yeah.
Look good. I like it like this. We've got mirrors everywhere. So that's done. Now we get to this part. What I like to teach you guys, although I ramble on a fair bit, talk some stink, as I call it, I like to make sure, even though it's taken me longer than what I'd do it in the salon, because I want you guys to be able to see, is I want to make sure that the haircuts you guys are learning are salon ready, and I call it like they have to be functional in 45 minutes. And if they're not, we need to either be charging a lot more for our time and doing less people, or have the luxury of doing 1 or 2 people a day. I have neither, and I know a lot of you guys work like me, so all these haircuts you do should be able to execute in around about 45 minutes, which is why I like to create little simple elements like that in the front. I think sometimes we get a little bit, make things a bit more complex. So baseline, second element was your little curtain fringe, and then we're going to do some really nice boxed layering to Tony and Guy technique. Love Tony and Guy. Big shout out to Anthony Mascolo. Thanks, man. I remember you teaching me this some moons ago. So I just cut myself a little guideline, nice square guideline. We're going to bring everything to that point in the back. Make sure we don't bring that too much of that front in. what's really important is that we don't cut those corners off again. So if the hair falls out on the side, it falls out. Don't go chasing it. Don't be projecting it out this way. It's not wrong, it's a different shape. That's not what we're doing today. Nothing to cut there. And similarly to what we did in the back, we're now going to work left to right, back into our section or our box. So our box being the rectangle that we're working with down the middle here. Left to right until we run out of hair. It's a stationary guideline. Everything comes back to that point. There it is there. I know my section got a little bit messy. Let's just neaten it up so you can see. I did say work commercially, but don't compromise the haircut by rushing at the same time. Now I'm bringing the side in. Make sure we bring that straight back up. And if there's no hair to cut, don't go chasing it, because the reason why it's falling out is because we're creating a square. If we're creating a round shape, we do it on the side, layer it here, and then you're going to have it falling in the head shape. That's a haircut for another day, I think. Actually, we're probably doing something similar coming up soon, I think, in another video in a couple of weeks' time. So I will show you that. Last section through the top. And then we're ready to dry it off. Back to that point again. I get asked all the time, why don't you ever chip or point cut? Because I do that dry, so I like to create really strong, accurate lines with my shape. And then if I want to soften, I go back and do it. I don't like to cut soft lines from, well, I don't like to cut foundations with soft lines. It's all done. So we're 80% done with the haircut, and now it's time to blow dry. So today we're going to use smooth setter and the Biolage hydrosol spray first, because I find smooth setter works a little bit better. Smooth setter works better. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. Just when there's a bit of moisture in the hair. And I've gone so heavy-handed with this. I've never ever saturated someone's hair to the point I've got to rinse it out. So, and then just a little bit of smooth setter. Again, I don't like to use too much. And this is more just to protect it from the heat, because we are going for a beachy, soft look. We just scrunch it through the ends. I never put product on the roots because we like nice, soft, natural roots. Look how easy it's going to be to do your hair every day. Hey, like in summer when it was warmer, you could just go, it's done. Like you just let it dry. Just let it dry. It dries in quite nice. Because as I always say, Lorna, blow drying should build on a good haircut, not a prerequisite to making your haircut look good. Could you pop your head forward for me? So we call this wrap drying. And the reason why I like to wrap dry hair is because for me, the most flattering shape or the most flattering mold to dry the hair around is the head itself. So to use round brushes and to go and create something that's artificial, well, create an artificial shape for a haircut like this doesn't work. So we do flat brushing or wrap drying. There are a few different rules. First rule is the air's always got to come down and the brush always goes up. And we're just allowing the air to very gently dry the hair. Okay, so blow dry is done. In theory, the hair's dry. Obviously, we're going to dress the hair out a little bit more. The first thing I like to do is just to really put some texture in the ends. I said just before I started drying it, that I'm often asked why I never point cut, I blunt cut everything, because this is why. Because I go back when I'm done and I add texture. So you'll see sometimes I go quite aggressive like that, and then other times I'm actually just creating short hair amongst the long hair to create some movement through the ends. Working through horizontal sections, I just try and make sure I don't cut the hair I cut previously. And then I don't go all the way to the top, we'll leave that. Yep, that's good. Now we'll work through the middle. Stop just before the occipital bone. I guess that's a good way of knowing where I would normally stop. And then we'll do Lorna's left third, the back. Stop our occipital bone again. I think that's good. So we've got some texture in there. Now we're going to work diagonally. We're going to bring it back, so I'll show you guys what I mean by diagonal. So we're going to bring diagonal sections and work straight into the middle of the back. And I do this because I don't like to create holes in the front, which is easily done because no one has hair growing out from underneath their ear. So I like to, even when I texturize it, I like to really dramatically over direct it all the way to the back. Yep. Last section in the front. And then this way. To the back again, going back to our original section when we did our box layering. So we're going to take the whole middle section. And what I want you guys to do is just make sure that we've left enough out on the bottom. We don't want to make it too light. Yep. Maybe just remove a bit more from here. We're going to see where these little curtains are in the front. We're not going to blend it in as such. We're going to give it a real over-directed shark fin. I'm going to nick that off. Don't drop it. Very important you don't drop it. Comb it back up. Just close your eyes for me, Lorna. Just might get a little bit of, let's make sure we've got that beautiful, exaggerated shark fin, and then we're just going to softly point cut there. Then see how this falls one at a time. Look at that, you blended it in, not externally, but from the internal shape. We've now blended the external shape in the face, and we just want to very gently, that doesn't belong there, because I dropped it. You go away. Yep. Really make sure you don't, there you go, found it again. Then don't cut this corner off. We spent all day creating that. Don't cut it off. So I'm very gently make sure we don't have any little burrs hanging out there, but don't cut those corners off. It's so important, you ruin your whole haircut. You'll see it here. We just want to really, there's the corner there. A little bit of graduation under there, chip it out if you see it. Points are there. Haven't cut those points off, you've got to leave them. So one last texturizing technique I'd like to show you is something that I would advise you to use at caution. And it's essentially channeling with your straight blade vertically where you feel the hair's quite thick. I'm actually quite happy with the density. Just through the back here, you can see Lorna's got quite a lot of hair. So just get you to just dip your chin a bit, and we're just going to go upwards. Not on top. Short hair directs long hair. You go and put short hair on top of this and we've changed the whole shape, and that's not good. It's just underneath. I'm not a big fan of texturizing scissors, although obviously a company that I work very close with, I'm very fond of, Excellent Edges, make a lot of new technology texturizing scissors which aren't as aggressive in terms of the destruction of the outside of the hair. And when I say that, you don't want to end up having like, the only analogy I can give, it's like trying to cut a straight line on a wall with a jackhammer or a sledgehammer, like just bashing it. You need to actually do things intelligently. So I like to just use these just to scoop out any sort of bulk under there. That's great. And I think we're done. Just a little bit heavy here. We're just going to do some of our vertical channeling through the side. One thing I think is worth mentioning is people go, oh, that haircut's really simple. Yeah, I don't know about being simple. I think it's very technical. I think there's a lot of elements that might appear to be simple, but I think it's also very important to say that, in my belief, for me, simplicity is actually beautiful, because sometimes as hairdressers we go and make things really busy with lots of layering, lots of texture, you know, concave, graduated, you know, sweeping fringe, lots of layers, and you're just like, it's like a visual overload. I think hair should be complementary, and I think sometimes as hairdressers we get a little bit carried away with saying it's all about our haircut. But I think that when I came to the realization simplicity was important in hair, when I started to notice how elaborate fashion started to get. So, you know, girls have, I mean, you just look at Lorna, I mean, I don't know who does your eyebrows, but they're amazing. So you go to, like, you look at someone's face, you're like, wow, the detail on a brow, her lip, her eye, it doesn't need any more up there. If I go really hard with haircuts, it's like, it's busy. And then with the fashion these days and the clothes they wear, I think that Yeah, I think that simplicity is beautiful, and I think we should try and keep it a little sort of lighter on in terms of how many elements we put in here. So we go rock star. We go rock star. We're like this. We're rock star. We're like rocking out. You know, really cute. Pull it to this side. Get a little bit of height. Pull one side behind the ear. All of a sudden, we've got these type of elements. However, if Lorna's becomes a doctor because she's doing a master's, gets a PhD and whatever, what was that? A little bit of, and she needs to be smooth, we can absolutely know that because we've executed this technically correct, we can create Lorna in the day and then Lorna in the night or the weekend or at the party or whatever, because one of the things we need to acknowledge about modern societies and extremely beautiful, intelligent women that hopefully will one day run our world, and some of those men that think they know it all will piss off, is it needs to be adaptable in an Armani suit, in an awesome pair of jeans, in a little skirt, in a top, on the beach, in the club, wherever. So we can go from smooth to rock star just by adjusting texture. In a matter of seconds, huh? I love it, you look great. All right, so only thing I'm gonna put in is a tiny little bit of Messy Maker, because I love it. Messy Maker is a great product in styling. So I'm just going to actually, I'm gonna just use it on my hands. Not too much. Just wanna sort of, what I find Messy Maker helps you give texture. If you put it in wet hair and dry it in, it's like the best salt spray I've ever used. It's like that gives you that beachy, straight off the beach feel. But I use it just to create that little bit of noodling and separation. And then we'll just gently just get the dryer and we'll just hit it with the dryer so it doesn't look wet. Yeah. What do you think?
Yeah, I like it.
Huh? Not that scary. I like that. We can make this quite lean. So what you can do is just with your fingers you can turn it out. I think the most important thing you understand, and everyone else is obviously going to listen, is you use your hands a lot, but we never use them on our hands. So all of a sudden we went from that quite sort of voluptuous cheekbones and sort of opened you up, and straight away just with the use of my hands we just sort of pull this in, keep it leaner, turn it out a little bit. So that's when, you know, you're at home and you're going, okay, well, I want this smooth today, so I want this to come in really smooth on my face. A little bit of volume. Have this coming back from my cheekbone. Can have this lean in the back too. We just use our fingers, lean it out. Some volume. I would style Lorna's hair, keep it in tight here, because we went to the trouble to make it square. I want it to look square, I don't want it to look round. So the way you make it square is pull it in. Let's see when we pull it really deep on one side, and we did this briefly before. So we create that really nice movement and upward shift in the back. And then let's tuck it away. Straight away you can go quite deep, and again, this keeps it quite lean, so we end up with that nice little silhouette in there. And again, once you put that Messy Maker in it, it's like this moulding. Like you can just bend it with your hands and mould it, make it go wherever you like. Don't forget to keep the back a little bit. A bit of volume too. All right, let's say you want to do something really, really like bold, go straight down the middle. There's not many people that can pull off middle parts, but I actually think you can. So we're going to intentionally go straight down the middle. And with our hands, just mold it. Again, we don't want it to look like it's been forced and round brushed there. First thing you see with this look is eyes and cheekbones, and that's what this is for. It'll draw people right in. And again, we just want to make sure it's lean in here. So you can absolutely wear that in the middle. That's really like, this is huge at the moment. Curtain fringes are massive. They're going to be huge in Europe this summer. So you get that real, yeah? What about if we do it this way? The reason why this is important is because flexibility with your haircuts, with your clients, I mean, you don't want to give them a haircut and then they're like forced to wear it one way every day. Every time Lorna wants to go out on a Saturday night with her friends, so if she goes out 3 nights in a row, they go, have you had your hair done again? It's like, no, I just did it a little bit differently. So this is sort of like a mirror image of then the other side. And again, it'd just be like molding this with your hands, style fixer, set it into place, make sure it's coming back. And now a really strong one is when you go and you put both sides back. Super lean. Where's my little brush? For this one, we might go back to the other side. And then we're going to go tight in there. Tight in there. I think that's where you're going to end up one day. And every single model on HairTube has to do this at the end. I'm just going to step over here and watch you do your own hair, huh? Let's see how you push it. You like it on the side, huh? So if you guys want to see more regular videos, as we said in the beginning, thank you very much to my family, my newfound family at Matrix. This wouldn't be possible without you guys, and there are literally millions of people around the world that thank you, and Jimmy and I thank you as well. Thank you, Lorna, for coming in today. If you want to see more videos like us, no matter what country you're in, you need to call your Matrix agent and you need to use the best product on this earth, the best colour, the best styling products, and they have great people in every country that can come to your salon and give you great education just like I am right now. So if you want to see more videos, do that, subscribe to the channel, very important, and hopefully Lorna will come back and maybe we can get you to do that short haircut. Maybe not. So thanks guys. Again, we're going to have lots of regular content, lots of videos. Make sure you subscribe, share to your friends, and when you do, make sure you use the hashtag #IamMe and Matrix. Thank you and bye.